Hi guys, I'm Java here. I'm a software developer. I'm here to share my knowledge on how we can develop an interactive and responsive web application using Streamlit and Python. Thank you all. Thank you for your feedback and suggestion on my first session. This topic is website text elements, where we will cover how different ways we can display text on a website and website sidebar utilization. Thank you. Let's begin. Let us understand the generic or basic components of web. A website can have text elements to render different kinds of text formats, which is just highlighted. Can also have input elements to receive the user input. A website can also contain media elements to have images, video. It can also contain some menu elements. It can be context menu or hamburger menu. Finally, a website will have links and anchor. Let me create a new file for today's session, text element sidebar.py, so that I can easily remember in which session what we have covered. So that's why the length is big here. So I am adding to the Git repository. Once my changes are done, I can commit and deploy in the Streamlit. As we know that we have to import the import Streamlit as st, then only we can run using the Streamlit run and the file name. So once we launch this one empty, we can see there is no context on that. I am creating a variable welcome to make sure that possible ways we can render in the Streamlit. Streamlit support around 10 different ways we can render the text element on the website. One is title. So what I am doing, once I create the st.title, I am adding the welcome for all, because the same text how differently we can see on the screen. I will show first. After this, show the same elements, how what is the size of each element, the text size. So currently you can see that there is a title. In each element or each page we can set one title, and then header, st.header, then subheader, like each of them, like markdown, right. This title is used to render the title format of the text. Header is used to render the header format of the text, which is less than the title size, and subheader is less than size of the header. So the latex is used to display the mathematical formula. It can be any peak. The latex is created display of them. Because in the machine learning we use lot of formulas, syntaxes. That's why we use latex. The markdown is the any other markdown which we use to write readme.md in GitHub. We can see that the same markdown language will be displayed. All the syntax is followed in the markdown. The right is the default one, which is used to Streamlit. It is like a public. We can pass any number of formats in the write function. So it can take the markdowns, it can as well as take the fixed format of the text, and it can also use to print the data frame and other objects in the write. And the welcome, what we are seeing is it's a magic element, because we are not passing this welcome to the any function, but still we can see that the Streamlit text elements is displayed just above the text and below the write function. Then we have the code and caption. The code is, if you want to display the code in the specific language format, we use it. See, once we get into the implementation of the title, we can pass the body, what is the text we want to display, and the anchor. I will come to the anchor at the end, but we can go like this. Like for example, we can select whatever the functions we want to see, what is the parameters we want to pass. Like for example, write accept lot of arguments, and it writes lot of intent content. Like for example, data frame asset, object, HTML content, and even charts and graphs. The write object, write function allows to render on the web page. These are all text elements. Why we call? Because here there is no input received, but once the computation is done, we are use all of this to render on the page. So now st.markdown, because as I said, the markdown language for hyphen creates the horizontal line. That's what you can see on the right hand screen. Now I will mark each of the uh, 10 items with their size. The order also, whatever is written above, it is in the size order only, the font size order. Title is exactly similar to H1 tag in the HTML. The header is H2 tag and the subheader is H3 tag. I will show in the inspect mode all of this. And then latex is the 1.2 em. The em is the font size measurement. That is just more than the 16 pixel. It is around 18 or 20 pixel. 1.21 em means. Then Markdown and Write and Magic Element welcome. All of these are having the 16 pixel, like one rem, one root element. Rem means root element. 16 pixel, one rem is equal to, and the text, code, and captions are 14 pixel by default size. See, we can override the custom style, but still for now, by default, whenever we write the text, you can see the different text size on the right side. That's how. That is why I'm doing the live coding here. So now let us understand the ST code, because this is where it is very interesting. Now I'm creating a R2 numbers function here. ST within the three dots, like open three codes, and within that I'm creating def R2 numbers. Passing A and B. Then I'm printing the result of it within in the right function. Okay. So now here we can see that the syntax is written exactly same as the code, and the same thing we can copy paste. We will get the result. So 25 plus and 500. Now let us add the caption for this, because the 100 we will not get into that. So I say st dot caption result is 100. So the st dot code display the copy, like we can copy to clipboard option with the syntax, and I pass the language as Python. We can pass the language as Python here. So that is how the Python structure will be written. And now let me get into the latex. As I said, this latex is used to render the mathematical formulas. Currently, I have taken the example of a plus b whole square. So the same thing within the st.latex we have to do with the upper arrow for the square, like a square plus b square. Then 2 star ap we can write it. Now how centrally displays the formula is interesting. See, this is how the a square plus b square plus the PDF. When we look at these formulas, I just take another complex example. The latex is used whenever we write the syntactical formulas, mathematical formulas. Okay. Now I will show the few special consideration of the markdown and the write functions. In the markdown, we can use, as I said, it exactly follows the markdown language syntax. Now I am printing the sunglasses. The Streamlit renders on the web page like emojis, and that can also be displayed on the screen. That's what I am going to show. So now thumbs up plus one. Either Markdown and Write both behaves. The Write is the superior, like it support all kinds of text rendering. The Markdown is just the Markdown language syntax. So the 2 star indicates bold, the 1 star indicate italic here, the Streamlit, and we can also use underscore underscore to make it bold. So this is there are many different options are available for Markdown and Write. Like in the Markdown language, we do the checkbox checked or not checked, because these things, though the Streamlit is having the separate checkboxes, but in some cases we have to write the some items to be checked in the Markdown language. So that's how we use. So this is how these are all the special cases which I covered now with all the 10 cases. Now I I'm starting with the anchor and the sidebar example for Streamlit. This anchor is nothing but the options the title, header, and the subheader is having. If I want to jump from one section to the other section, we have to define this anchor. For example, I am creating a st.title, the section. The anchor I am given as a title. This is after the # symbol in the URL bar. If I give the title, even if I am down or in the mid of the page, it will come to the start of this section. So currently I have just taken an example to just to bring the scroll bar. I'm just using a for loop to print a couple of times. Hello, are you? I'm fine now to you. And I created both the title header and subheader two sections so that it will easy to get the more scrolling in. Now, if I am in the down, if I want to go to the title section, I have to scroll till the up. Rather, if we in the normal JavaScript, we know that we can give the top and get element by ID and jump to that one using window objects. But here in Python and the Streamlit, that is possible. Again, we go with the Markdown option. I have created a link. Now you can see that section. And you can also observe in the URL bar, the title, as title is appearing. Now let me create for rest of the four sections here, like title, header, subheader. Each of them when we click, you can see the first section. The URL also changing with after the hash. Okay. So now let us see the sidebar, because the sidebar is also one of the important feature in the Streamlit. We can define the different menu options and other details, portion details, app details, even search items and all these things. We can utilize this sidebar. That is just st.sidebar. Now I just changed the title and other things to check that. Now I added the same the scroll options, like because this use case will definitely we will use in many cases. Now I have created a sections. Now I need to jump to the maybe if I am creating a notes for any research pages, then I will give the sections like this. Now when I say jump to it, I can jump from sub first to the last. Okay, the title section, header. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate your suggestion, and I will definitely try to incorporate all your suggestion in the next upcoming session. Thank you for watching again.